Our story begins today in the Libyan territories, within military storage facilities guarded by Libyan officers. These facilities contain highly important weapons and ammunition, including a set of newly acquired nuclear bombs that Libya has just received. The officers are keenly guarding both the storage facilities and the home of their general. Suddenly, one of the guards senses that something strange is happening. He steps outside to investigate, but the moment he does, bullets and rockets start raining down from every direction. There's chaos, with gunfire and explosions coming from all sides. When the general hears the commotion, he immediately orders his men to hide his wife and son, instructing them not to reveal the location of the weapons, no matter what. Then, he heads out to join the fight himself. Meanwhile, we meet Zaidan, a corrupt officer from Pakistan leading an invasion force sent to take down the Libyan forces and seize their weapons. Zaidan is the mastermind behind the entire attack. He climbs onto a Libyan tank, kills its crew, leaving only one survivor, and interrogates him about the general's location. Once the Libyan officer reveals the location, Zaidan kills him. At the same time, we cut to Los Angeles, where we meet Jenny, a well-known gangster who works closely with the CIA and Special Operations units. Jenny heads over to his right-hand man, Andrew, who we find in a heated argument with Maya, his girlfriend and their colleague in the gang. The fight is all about proving who's stronger. Jenny watches the brawl unfold until it ends, then asks Andrew to accompany him to a bar where he was drinking last night. Andrew is puzzled by the request but agrees to go. Upon arrival, he finds out that Jenny is there to recover a ring that was stolen from him by a group at the bar. Andrew is surprised, asking Jenny, "Since when does anyone steal from you? And when did you ever need someone to get your things back?" Jenny explains that he's too old for these types of fights and needs Andrew to handle it for him. Jenny hands him some brass knuckles, and Andrew walks over to the three who took the ring. Without hesitation, he begins fighting them, using every move in the book, and ends up smashing the bar in the process. After defeating them, he retrieves the ring and hands it back to Jenny before heading out, eager to get back to his argument with Maya. Back in Libya, Zaidan continues his rampage, killing every Libyan soldier he encounters. Eventually, he reaches the general by blending in with the Libyan forces, disguised in their uniforms. He slaughters the soldiers guarding the general and begins torturing him to extract the location of the bombs. We then cut back to the United States, where Jenny and Andrew arrive at their team's secret meeting spot. Jenny introduces Andrew to the group, and they begin discussing their plans. Suddenly, Mr. Cyrus, a high-ranking CIA officer, enters the room and announces a new mission that must be carried out within 3 hours. The mission involves heading to a Libyan border storage facility, and Cyrus shows them a photo of Zaidan. He explains that Zaidan was a former British officer, but after being dishonorably discharged, he moved to Pakistan, where he joined a terrorist group. Zaidan eventually formed his own group and became a notorious arms dealer. Cyrus warns the team that if Zaidan manages to get his hands on the Libyan nuclear bombs, it will be a massive disaster, potentially sparking an international crisis. And indeed, they start preparing for the mission, and Jenny takes Andrew with him in the plane. They arrive at the warehouse on the Libyan border. Meanwhile, Zaidan has already reached the bombs and managed to put them in a bag to take them. Jenny and Andrew arrive by plane. Andrew gets off and boards one of the combat vehicles. One of the snipers manages to take a shot at Jenny but misses, hitting Zaidan. A very intense battle ensues between them with weapons and everything. Zaidan realizes that the plane and those inside it are the ones controlling everything happening below, so he decides to eliminate the plane and its occupants. He fires a missile at Jenny's plane, causing the first wing to explode. At that moment, Jenny orders Andrew not to stop the mission and to go retrieve the bag with the explosives. But all Andrew cares about is saving Jenny. When Zaidan notices this, he fires another missile at Jenny's plane, which explodes, killing everyone on board. Zaidan escapes with the explosives, Jenny's plane crashes, and Jenny dies. This is a massive shock to Andrew, who takes Jenny's hand with the ring on it and goes to place it in the bar they used to hang out at. Everyone is saddened by Jenny's death. Maya comes along and tries to console Andrew, but he doesn't care about anything other than getting revenge for Jenny from Zidane. Mr. Cyrus enters and talks to them, asking Andrew when the second mission will start to avenge Jenny. But Mr. Cyrus surprises Andrew by telling him that he's no longer part of the operation. In fact, he even blames Andrew for not retrieving the bag and only thinking about saving Jenny. He also tells him that Maya will be the team leader and responsible for the mission. Andrew feels extremely angry, takes Jenny's ring, and walks out. Later, Andrew returns home and spends days doing nothing. He looks for jobs in the papers and finds that the son of a businessman is looking for a bodyguard. Andrew goes to work for the businessman's son, but finds him to be a shallow, spoiled kid who throws parties full of women and dancing, things that Andrew disapproves of. Andrew gets fed up with the businessman's son, grabs him, and gives him a good beating, then quits. Afterward, Andrew goes to Maya's house, but she's not there. He tries to open her safe to find any information about the mission. He manages to open it, but finds nothing related to the mission inside. Just then, Maya walks in and tells him she knew he would come. They get into a fight, but not the physical kind, it's a different kind of fight. After the fight ends, he asks her to take him on the mission, but she refuses and tells him that the authorities won't allow him to participate. The next morning, Andrew wakes up to find that Maya has left to begin the mission. But Andrew had planted a tracking device on her without her knowing, so he could follow them. Maya and the rest of the team head out, and with them is a new girl named Nana, who is from Asian intelligence. They head to the intelligence center in Asia to gather all the necessary details. Meanwhile, Andrew travels to Thailand. As soon as he arrives, he enters a restaurant and asks about a person named Disha. But the man at the restaurant tells him that if he wants to find anyone, he needs to go to the harbor and ask there. So, Andrew goes to the harbor and asks a man who's cleaning there. As soon as the man hears the name, Disha, he gets ready to fight Andrew. But Andrew explains that he needs Disha for a mission. The man notices Jenny's ring on Andrew's hand and asks him about Jenny. Andrew explains that Jenny has passed away and that he's here to take on a mission to get justice for him. At that moment, the man reveals that he is Disha, but he's been in hiding to avoid being recognized. Disha tells Andrew that he'll help him get justice for Jenny because he owes Jenny a great deal. At the same time, we see Maya and the rest of the team entering the Asian intelligence agency. Cyrus is there, and they find out that Zidane and his gang have a partner, and a very powerful one at that. They need to figure out who it is and capture him immediately. Cyrus also tells them that Zidane and his gang managed to take control of a Thai ship and are heading to Russia with it. He warns them that the Russians can't know that the intervention is American, or else there will be huge problems. Maya stands up and explains her attack plan to the team, which will be carried out separately, with each group executing a task on their own. After agreeing, they all get on the plane to start the mission. Meanwhile, Andrew is on a boat with Disha. We learn that Disha used to be a naval officer in the Thai intelligence, and has been on many missions with Jenny in the past. Maya and the rest of the team arrive at the ship, and Cyrus is also with them on this mission. When they reach the ship, they're shocked to find it empty, with no one on board. Suddenly, as they search, the lights go out, and Zidane's men appear from all sides, capturing them and locking them in the lower deck. The whole team starts to suspect each other, asking who among them might be the traitor who revealed the location. Meanwhile, Andrew arrives at the ship and ties a rope from Disha's boat to board Zidane's ship. He wonders how the place is so empty without any massacre, loads his gun, and enters the ship. This is where his massacre begins, taking out everyone he encounters. Andrew speaks to Zidane on a radio he took from one of the men he killed. Zidane tells Andrew that he was waiting for him specifically because he knows how strong he is and assumes he would be excited to kill him. But Andrew mocks him and lets him know that he'll walk out of there after killing everyone. Andrew then quickly starts searching for Maya and the team, but Zidane is faster, sending one of his men to capture Cyrus. Zidane contacts the U.S. government, informing them that he won't release Cyrus or the team unless they release a prisoner in the U.S. prison. The government tells him that they'll meet his demands and release the prisoner, but he must return Cyrus and the team unharmed. Meanwhile, Andrew is killing off Zaidan's men and comes across a motorcycle with rockets. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that the ship Zaidan took over is a massive cargo ship that carries weapons, vehicles, and goods. It has a British flag on it so that it can enter Russia under the guise of being a British weapons and goods carrier. As Andrew continues killing everyone on board, Disha suddenly appears beside him and helps him out. It turns out Disha also has impressive combat skills. Andrew asks him why he's here, and Disha responds that he couldn't let Jenny's death go unavenged. Down below, Maya and the team come up with the idea to open a back door to the storage room where they are trapped. They manage to open it and escape, only to be confronted by more of Zaidan's men. At that moment, Andrew and Disha show up, killing Zaidan's men. When Maya sees Andrew, she tells him that she knew the knife had a tracking device in it, and she took it on purpose because she was sure he would show up at the right time if there was any danger. Now, they start thinking about what to do next. At the same time, they go down to the ship's storage area and find out that the explosives Zaidan placed are wired to a massive bomb that's been set up in the ship. And this is where we finally understand Zaidan's plan all along. He's been hired by a huge terrorist group to take these explosives from Libya and place them on the ship, pretending it's a British ship. That way, the ship would be able to enter Russian waters, and once the bomb, loaded with nuclear radiation, explodes near Russia's coast, a huge massacre would occur. As a result, Russia would retaliate against Britain, and since Britain's not at fault, they would also retaliate, sparking a third world war between the countries. So they say they have to stop all of this, and they rush up to the deck of the ship to face Zaidan's men. A firefight breaks out from every direction. And here's where something very important happens. The plane that brought the prisoner Zaidan mentioned earlier arrives. They start the exchange, but Andrew and the rest of the team are still busy fighting the men who keep trying to take them down. Unfortunately, one of Andrew's teammates gets injured, but by then, they've taken out more than 3/4 of Zaidan's men. Only a small number of men are left around Zaidan. Andrew moves in and finishes them off, then enters the ship's command center to face Zaidan. The two engage in a fierce fight. This is a clash of the titans. Zaidan is incredibly strong, but Andrew, of course, overpowers him and asks about the bomb's control device. Zaidan reveals that he doesn't have it, but his partner does. And then Zaidan dies. Meanwhile, the prisoner exchange is about to finish, and Cyrus is standing face to face with the prisoner Zaidan brought from prison. This is when the shocking twist is revealed. Cyrus shoots the prisoner, and it turns out that Cyrus was Zaidan's partner all along. He's the one with the bomb's control device. The rest of the team is stunned by what they just witnessed. Cyrus orders his men to take out Andrew and the rest of the team. But Andrew tells his team to hide while he takes on the men himself. Cyrus keeps telling Andrew that nothing will stop him from delivering the bomb to the Russian coast. He brags about being the one who will start World War III. Then, he throws the bomb's lock key into the water. That's when Desha tells them the only solution is to get on his boat. So, Desha quickly takes Maya and the rest of the team onto his boat, but Andrew refuses to get on. Desha takes Maya and the team and speeds off while Andrew sinks the ship. But suddenly, a plane appears and fires at the boat. Turns out, the plane belongs to Jenny. Andrew is stunned and doesn't understand what's happening, but Jenny throws him a rope, and he quickly climbs up before the boat sinks. As soon as the boat goes under, the nuclear bomb on board explodes, causing a massive blast. All Andrew can think about is how Jenny is still alive. When Andrew asks her, Jenny tells him that she suspected Cyrus of being a traitor for a long time, and that he was the one behind all the problems they've been facing. But she couldn't expose him, so she created this whole plan to reveal him. After they return to America, they head back to the bar they used to hang out in. That's when Jenny teases Andrew, saying, "You should have put your head in the game, not just your hands." Maya joins them, and they all sit together to celebrate. Jenny and the rest of the team cheer for their victory in the battle. They decide to take a one-year vacation to relax before their next mission. And that's the end of our movie today. I hope you enjoyed it with us. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.